Hey guys, let's talk about something here really quick. Let's talk about something. Let me sorry, let me turn that up a little bit there. Let me bring up my window here. Oh yeah, I mean, imagine that. The moment I tell you we're about to talk about it, they fix it. Imagine that. They're finally starting to fix it. So anyway, we're gonna talk about something, and I'm gonna tell you my opinion on why I think they're doing this and why I don't think it's a good thing actually. So, and not probably not for the reason even YouTube thinks that I'm gonna say. So, don't think that I'm just gonna sit here and blast this because I'm not. I'm gonna be reasonable. Give me a second though. Okay. So, let's discuss some things. Um, a lot of people are talking about this. I've talked about this, and this seems like a very toxic thing. But in YouTube's defense, they have a decent reason on their side of things for why they would do this way. Okay, so if you were YouTube, you have to think would you also do this way? And I'm gonna just present you with what I think is happening and why. A lot of us have talked about, us seeing like. All right, so let me just start from what I saw, okay, from my experience, okay. Here's what I had seen previously, where essentially we have something in our studio that has a total view count for each live stream. Like essentially, like you can go in there and look to the right and see like the numbers and stuff like that for your live streams in there and all that. So essentially, like what I started noticing was that number was accurate no matter what. Now this was a while back. This was a while back. I'm talking about the number that's in the list of your streams, not in the actual control room. I'm talking about the number that's in the list of your streams, even when you're live. Okay, the number that was in there, I noticed, was always correct. So what I started being able to do was I started being able to sort of count how many I had when I was live versus how many were actually coming off even before I would end the stream, because I started to see a difference, pretty big one. And so I started talking about it a little bit naturally, because you guys know that's what I do. I think YouTube probably appreciated this, liked this, probably didn't even know this was a thing and happening. But yeah, for sure, that's what happened. Now, let me tell you why I think this is actually something that they're doing possibly for a good reason. And like, you guys can decide for your own, opinions. If you were YouTube, would you do it this way or not? But I'm going to give you why I think they are doing this. Okay? Because again, the point is we started to see a lot of stuff being removed, views coming off. And then essentially, if I talk about how we can identify how many views you have, wouldn't you want to do that? You would think. So the point is, why would they not want you to know that? And why would they start taking away your ability to see total views entirely. Here's what I think actually is happening, and this is what's happening today too. I know I gotta take care of that. This is what we gotta. I gotta close this. So basically, today, we had 0 views on this one short. Not the Hoopastank short, the other one, the Disturbed one. 0 views. Yet, there were 4 dislikes. So they're counting dislikes before views. It says 0 views. I think essentially what they've been trying to do, the only thing that makes sense to me is, and we've talked about this before. We talked about YouTube, we talked about the platform, we talked about other platforms, we talked about just social media in general, and this is just how it is. There is more people that watch your content that hate you and hate your content than like you. Or even feel kind of neutral, I think. And this is what they don't want people to know. This is flat out what they don't want people to know. And because, again, this really would look bad on them. Flat out, if you start proving, which I did, that there are more haters watching you than people that like you, and yada, yada, yada. And this is anybody. This isn't just me. This is anybody. You're going to rack up a pretty long block list, even if you're a big YouTuber. It comes with the territory. You can't take it personally. You're going to have to part ways with people that you don't see eye to eye with. And flat out, you shouldn't declare war on each other. You shouldn't harass each other, because things can get pretty shitty pretty quickly, okay? Now, one thing I will say, again, is flat out, the reason, again, why YouTube probably wouldn't want you to know this is yeah, because it's not going to look good on them if you figure out and start being able to talk about the fact that, yeah, more people watch you that hate you than like you, and it just doesn't look good for things, and I can understand that from a business side of things. I'm sure all of you could, too. So we just don't talk about it. We try to block people, but it has been out of control lately. And flat out on the Oliver Voice, and for real, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And on for real on the Disturbed short that we did just now, it was locked at 0. Now it's still only up to like 1 view counted or something like that. Yet it has 4 dislikes and 2 likes. So at least 6 people watched. That's what I'm saying. Like, why are those faster? Can you please do something about this? Like, I feel like if you're gonna slow down that system and you're gonna make it look that way, I'm not the only one that's gonna notice that. That's gonna start to kind of like irritate people and wonder like what's going on there. So like, and even just other like smaller YouTubers, like I've been around for years, guys. But like I'm talking like even other smaller YouTubers that might not understand like what's going on, and we just be like, what? How do I gauge this when everybody hates everything? They have your answer. The point is, it shouldn't do that, and that's flat out why they hide the number. You can't see dislikes when you hit the dislike button on YouTube, for a good reason. So, case in point, you know. So anyway, like that's mainly what I wanted to talk about. Essentially, like, do you think that's a good idea? Because I don't know that I agree with it, and here's why. Here's why I get from a business side of things it's bad, but wouldn't you eventually want to work through this so that you can get over this and overcome this problem where essentially like it's such a big platform, there's so many people using it, you'd think that like as a whole eventually people would start to get the idea that yeah, enough is enough, you know, like too much is too much. Like I think like if a larger platform or a larger just enough people put their foot down with it, it wouldn't take a mind of its own, sort of thing. But I feel like not enough are, and don't see the point, and that's a shame, because like I know flat out, like, there's plenty of people that do see the point and see why why it's dangerous, but there's plenty of people that still think it's kind of like a joke, obviously, and you just have to obviously move on from those people. They're just not gonna get it. They're never gonna get like why there's only so much joking, like not everything, Yeah, like that's why I wanted to redo that because like I think the mic on my phone is going, and it's made like when I recorded those shorts, like it truly just changed it like every time. Like, I know normally through a phone it doesn't sound too bad when people do it, but flat out I think, like, I don't know if you guys could tell, like, I think my mic on my phone is kind of going. Like, it sounds like bad sometimes when I do the streams and stuff, so, like, even when I'm just talking, so, like, yeah, I wanted to redo that. Not that that's an excuse for how that sounded, it's just realize that there's only so much frequency range you get from a mic that's literally, like, as small as a centimeter, Sifu Dallas. Hi, I missed you. Thank you? Man, 3 hours later. Shoot. Windows. So I have a question, Sifu Dallas. Just a question for you. Why was your account created yesterday? Your YouTube account. The first time I saw you in the stream, by the way. Yesterday. Last night when I was rollerblading. Yeah, I'm just curious, like, you're new. Oh. And your name's just, you're a Sifu. Your name's just Sifu. Do you know what it means? Without Googling it really quickly. So that's no. You would have typed it by now. You would have typed it by now. It's Asian. You're done. So, Sifu is teacher. And it's given to the head instructor of the school in Kung Fu. When the instructor takes over a school, the head instructor is given the title of Sifu. He's the head instructor. He's the head guy of that school. Sifu means teacher, though. You guys ever watch it? Like, if I'm sure you've heard of the song, or I'm sorry, the game Sifu. That's what it's. I mean, like, that's what they took that from. It's just kung fu. But yeah, like, I'm actually a martial arts instructor, so it was a title I was given, and I owned a school for many years. So, like, principal. I mean, I guess, sure. But, like, you teach martial arts, you're the head instructor. Gotta be skilled enough to be able to run the whole school. Yeah, so that's why my name is Sifu, because I was actually given that title at one point in my life, and used to own a martial arts school. That's why I like. I mean, I still make content on it here and there. You know, have a job now and doing this now, and just sort of getting back into it because I had like jobs for years, like hourly jobs ever since I closed my business many years ago. But yeah, sort of. Our uniforms are the knots that go straight across. And it's black, and then it has the white knots that go straight across. That's what ours. That's what kung fu. Traditional kung fu uniforms will look like that. That was traditional. I mean, um, the funny thing is, the ones that like they wear in karate schools, like the emoji that you just put. It's actually kind of funny because like that was more of like the unformal like sort of house coat that they would wear. It's like a house coat. The uniforms, the kung fu uniforms that we wear that are like straight across. That was like your formal attire. That's the point. True story. Yeah, because like the point is like it's just a slip on. You know, like it's just a robe basically that they wear in like the karate classes and stuff. But in kung fu, like yeah, they like you have to like really work to get those things off. Like that's the point. Yeah, and it looks nice too. It doesn't, you know, like come open and stuff. Yep. It even has like a little collar up here. You're gonna go. Bye. See ya. Thanks for stepping in. Appreciate it. Um, but yeah. Anyway, guys. That's really all I wanted to talk about. Just that stuff. That's it. I mean, nothing big. But you know, I do think that it's not. Like I said, in my opinion, I would personally feel like if you do things to try to educate people that this is actually like a real problem, like really a problem, because it is. Um, I think eventually the problem will work itself out, but you know, like if you just continue to enable, you know, you guys, you get what I mean. Like people will just take advantage of that left and right. And you know, that's fine. Like everybody has their own ways of doing things. I'm just saying like that's my opinion. Um is to always try to, you know, have some sort of solution where I try to work through it, but you know, if somebody else if their opinion is to not try something and they would rather just not do it, then that's perfectly valid for them. That's fine, you know. They're running that show, you know, I'm not. So it's just my opinion. Now, I mean, like there's times where like I know I'm right about things and I know that it should be this way or that way, because you know it would be better, you know, flat out. But you know, like I said, even just with this case, there's times where I'm not right, and I know I'm not necessarily don't know everything about that, and I'm not gonna like be, you know, and then also at the same time, um, there's times where I understand that like there's a difference between somebody's opinion and like the importance of understanding when your opinion matters versus what's better, like safety wise, if that makes sense. You guys get what I'm saying? That's a huge problem with politics. It is. Not that we're gonna get like all political or anything, but that's a pretty big one. I feel that a lot of folks are really one policy people, and you know, sort of kind of just you know, here's something really really like simple, and just want to latch onto it, and stuff like that, and it doesn't work that way, you know. You know, things aren't black and white like that. It'd be nice, but they're not. That's the point. So yeah, that's really all I really wanted to get to. I'm eating still eating these Starburst. So let's see if we got some sort of fix in here yet. See if it started kind of updating. Probably not, but let's see. Come on, Windows. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now, Windows? Literally type